Hey YouTube, welcome back to another review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the newly released Black Series Jango Fett. This is a much needed upgrade to the original, which I'm going to do a comparison to a little bit later in the video. But first, let's take a look at the box. Okay, here he is in the box. Looks great. Just a couple quick things to go over. We can obviously see that it is a new mold and it looks great in the box. First impressions are pretty sweet. Looks like we got a good bit of accessories there. Jetpack, two pistols, his helmet. A beautiful new face sculpt, which if you remember the original, yikes. Just to go over it, we have the Attack of the Clones label down here, Jango Fett, number 10. It's a new Black Series box, so we're back to a square versus that slanted one. We have the artwork on the side here, with Jango Fett's name, and then just on the back here we have a description for Jango, and another picture which is the exact same as here, just a close-up. So, not much to the box, but let's get him out of the box and see how he is. Okay, and here he is out of the box, and like I said when he was in the box, first impressions are pretty good so far, and the new mold definitely looks really good, especially having it in hand now. Just want to go over the accessories real quick. So we have the jetpack, which I believe is a new mold, as these thrusters down here are now articulated, so we do have those, and I believe if you have the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett, the accessories for that should fit in here. At least it looks like they will. I tried to find mine, but I could not. So it's pretty cool. We got a new mold for the jetpack. These look like the same sort of peg that would go into the back of there. I'm just going to put that to the side there. We have a new helmet sculpt. I don't know if you guys remember the bulky original, but this one looks more in line with what we saw in the movie. It's got a great metal shine to it as well. Nice dark visor. Really looks good, especially in this lighting. We also have an articulated rangefinder. Just a quick note, I had to buy 6 Jango Fetts to get a helmet that this line here was not like slanted up. On the original figure, it's actually like molded into the helmet, and then on here it's printed, so kind of a letdown. Just keep that in mind when you're ordering. You might want to order a couple extra and then just return the bad ones. That's what I'm going to plan on doing. Then we also have, which you can kind of see, is the dent. You can feel it with your finger, but you can, I guess right there you can see it in the light. It's not as noticeable as the old helmet. And then we have more accurate blue on the face here, just a lighter shade than what's here. And that travels around. So far, the helmet, I would say, is a much better upgrade. Then we just have these 2 pistols here, which I don't have much to say for these because they're very bare. I mean, their plastic is just flimsy. It's typical, I guess, for something this thin, but they just don't have any deco on them. And I don't know if you guys remember the original, they actually had paint on them or some sort of deco, and these are just bare. They're like a gray, silver, pearlescent. I mean, they'll probably get the job done, but they just seem like they cut that out. And let's check on Jango himself. So we have a beautiful new face sculpt. It is amazing how far they have come. So the last Jango Fett that was released, or the first one I should say, was 2016. 2016 to now, so we're at 10 years before we got a new Jango Fett, like a new mold completely, not counting the Gaming Greats line, because that released a couple years ago. I believe they updated the head, but they did not update the body at all, which I thought would have been perfect for them to do that, but I'll take it now. And then moving down from here, just going to go over the deco real quick. The armor here, nice metallic shine to it, and that goes from front to back, even the shoulder pads, down to the gauntlets. No sort of weathering on the belt. It's just kind of plain. It goes all the way around. There are some little details here you can see. Makes it look like leather. And then that falls down to here. We have some silver here. Looks like also on the buckles there. And then that's kind of where it stops. And then if you notice from here down, you're kind of going to see that same kind of plastic, that silver plastic that was on the pistols, and it's just got that pearlescent to it. I don't know why this didn't translate down to here, following it down, but it kind of throws it off. To the eye, it's not too bad, but on camera you can kind of see the difference. This just looks like plasticky, where this actually does look sort of metal. Yeah, just kind of a let down for that. And then the feet carry this back down to here, so it's like a hiccup. I'm not sure what happened there. It's probably some factory error, but it still looks good. And then the undersuit, we have a purple undersuit instead of the original blue one, where it was like a dark blue with a like a light dry brush, I think. But overall, I would say deco-wise, we're pretty good. I wouldn't say it's terrible. Maybe a 7 out of 10. Like this area down here was just the biggest letdown for that. So hopefully, somebody will come up with a way to fix that. I'm sure somebody's already on it. But anyway, let's head into the articulation. So going back to the head, we have ball joint and a separate neck, so you can get tons of range of motion. You can have him look all the way up, all the way down, tilt his head to the left and to the right. So good range of movement there, excuse me. And then for his arms, we can hit a T-pose. So we can hit a nice T-pose, but you are going to see that the armor hinders that, and when you try to swing the arms up, that's about as far as you're going to get. You can push it, and it will go up. It's just you're going to bend that armor piece, and you kind of don't want to do that. I guarantee you somebody's probably going to snip these off and put them on the shoulders like the original figure. I think that would have been better anyway. I'm not really a fan of this, even though this is more accurate. And then moving to the armor piece itself, it's separate from the body. So it's just, I don't know if you could see, yeah, you can see the torso under there. So it's just laying on top of it. It's just this soft plastic piece. So this would probably be very easy to cut at the seam there and just glue onto the shoulder. And then moving down over to the arms, this is where you want to be careful. You have these tubes, they do just pop out. So like it can get tucked back in, but you want to make sure that when you're moving this to bend the arm, you want to make sure that the gauntlet is in the position to where that's not going to pop out. So that's the only downside to that. And I've only noticed it so much on this side, not so much on this side, but the arms do bend very far. So you can see you are getting just past 90 a little bit. And then that's the same for this side. Then moving down to the hands, these are the new style. So they're on a ball joint. I'm not a fan of them. They don't really have a great range of motion, especially if something's like in the way. But I like the idea that they're going for. I feel like it's a good start and they just need to, mess with it a little bit more and perfect it. And I think it'll be pretty good. Finishing out the torso, we have full spin, and he can bend down a decent amount and bend back not too well, but he can rock to the sides pretty well, so you can get a good bit of poses out of him that way. This piece on the belt is loose but pretty solid in there. It's not going to get much movement. The rest of the belt going down though is pretty loose on the figure, so you can move that around as needed. Moving to the legs, we don't have a thigh cut, so that kind of sucks because I feel like you can get a little bit more action poses with it. And with that, you just have that going up and single jointed knee going down, getting to 90, nothing past. This armor piece is also loose, so it can move around, which is nice if you need to tuck it down a little bit further on the leg. And then moving down to the feet, we have a lot more range of motion than we did with the original figure. If you have the original figure, you know how hard it is to get that figure to stand properly and stand straight. And then we have some ankle rocking motion here. Overall, I would say the articulation on him is pretty good. Probably like a 9 out of 10. If that thigh cut was there, I would say it would be a 10. So you can see we have a beautiful silhouette with the helmet. It doesn't look too big. It doesn't look too small. It's not squished. It just really completes the figure. I mean, it looks great. Same thing with the jetpack. One of the downsides I would say with the jetpack is there's not really any metallic to it. It's kind of that same plastic look that's down here. It's on the back though, so you're not going to really stare at it. As long as the helmet and I think the torso is good, you're not going to notice the rest of it. All right, and then just to do a quick comparison, old figure on the left, new figure on the right. You can see the color in the suit, the belt, and even the helmet. So we got a lot of change here, which is nice. I think the paint deco on the old one is much better. And then just real quick, you can see how much of an upgrade we got with the arms. I mean, it's much better. So we can actually hit poses with Jango Fett where we could not hit too many poses with the original. And just see what 10 years of difference does for these figures. I mean, we got, I don't know who this is on the left, and Jango Fett on the right. Big difference there. And if you don't have this figure and you were wondering what I was talking about with the shoulders, that's what I meant. They have the armor on the actual shoulder itself, so it allows for much greater range of motion. Let's go over the helmets real quick. So you can see the color difference and the size. I mean, even though this one's smaller, it still covers Jango's head very well. This one is definitely a bucket to say, but you can see the blue is much more accurate. And then, of course, the rangefinder articulates. where this one, it bends, but it doesn't move. But you could see what I was talking about, where this is molded into the helmet here, where it's just like a print on this one. So maybe if they release the figure again, they could do it this way, but I don't know. And lastly, I just want to compare the pistols. So you can see this is the original Jango Fett, and it just looks so much better. I mean, like they skipped out on it. I get it, but it's just like they used to put so much effort into things back in 2016. It's just crazy how they mark a figure up to $30 and we get, you know, half-assed accessories. These do fit with the new Jango Fett, but they don't fit in the holster. This part here is just a bit too big. It doesn't slide into the holster. You could probably force it. I wouldn't do that. It may get stuck, may break. I just don't want to mess with it. But if you wanted to have the new Jango Fett hold these, you definitely can. Overall, I enjoyed taking a look at the new Jango Fett. I think for any fan of Jango Fett, this is definitely going to be a great piece to add to the collection. It was a much needed upgrade and it poses great. Hopefully, you know, you guys will be picking them up. If you do, let me know down in the comments below. I also have some links down there to different websites, Amazon and Entertainment Earth. They are affiliate links. If you do use them, I appreciate it. I'll get a little bit of help. And if you do end up using them, thank you in advance. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video for today. And let me know down in the comments. And I will see you guys next time.